Come on, Elizabeth. So during the break, I had a couple of minutes of quick coaching from Barbara McAfee, and in the next edition of her book, Diligent Enhanced, we will have the Barrett-Kohler fast-talking voice. And here we go, okay? So I'm Stuart Levine, Barrett-Kohler author. This is Elizabeth Doty, Barrett-Kohler author, and we're here to talk a little bit about the Barrett-Kohler Leadership Alliance. The rest of the team, the core team is currently constituted. It includes Alan Briskin, Larry Ackerman, and Philippa Games. And it really is kind of a pleasure to be here and to share a little bit with you. So the interesting phenomenon for me for many years was the question of how might we collaborate beyond our books? And that's cooked around for a number of years, and at some point in time it was discovered at our authors' events, specifically the retreat, that a lot of other authors were in the same kind of inquiry. And so the spark for this was all the informal collaborations that go on between authors, and I was pleased to hear Steve mention before and a few of the other presenters just how much the authors community is important in terms of bringing new projects to Barrett-Kohler. So we engaged with each other at the retreats. People showed an interest in moving forward on projects, and as a result of that, we kind of said at one moment in time, whoa, perhaps we need a little bit of a structure, and we need to do a little bit of research to put some containers around this. So the Barrett-Kohler Leadership Alliance is essentially a project of the Barrett-Kohler Authors Cooperative. Some potential ways that we might cooperate with each other: joint consulting projects, educational offerings, joint communications on publicly important issues, advocacy groups. And so those are just some areas, and we decided to put some minimal structure into it. And we came up with 3 specific enablers that Elizabeth is going to talk about. Special acknowledgement. Elizabeth has just been an extraordinary member of this team who has driven it, who has added strategic thought, who has added detail. It could not have happened without her.
Thank you. Thank you, and there's the love, right? There's the love. Thank you very much. I'm very glad to be here with you. We asked ourselves, what's the minimal structure that would enable authors as entrepreneurs to jointly put out projects, offerings, advocacy, educational workshops, and things like that? What's the minimal thing that would enable that to happen very gracefully and easily so you don't have to start a business together to do something? We came up with 3. And the first one was just coming up with what are the partnering arrangements, what are some guidelines? What would you have to do to be able to offer something under the brand of the Barrett-Kohler Leadership Alliance? And so we've worked those out, and we actually came up with what does it take to use the logo? When does it count? How many cooperative members would have to be involved for it to be a Barrett-Kohler Leadership Alliance offering? So the values that Maren talked about are a critical part of that. But it's very minimal and simple, and we think gets to the heart of it. It's been, our guidelines have been approved by the cooperative board, and we've been in conversation with BK Publishers and now have points of contact to work out the final details. So there's a lot of groundwork there that makes the entire thing go more smoothly. The idea being to invite experiments and invite authors and cooperative members to try stuff, make that easy. The second thing is we've created a downloadable PDF guide that tells any cooperative member, here's what the Leadership Alliance is, and here's how you could get involved, including simply saying you're a member because you're a member of the co-op. But then, how might you start a project, and what are the first steps, and what are the resources available to you? And that's ready. We just have to plug in the links, and we're ready to make it downloadable and distributable. And then the last element that was really critical is what kind of a web presence would allow us to publicize these joint offerings, for people to know that there's a Leadership Alliance offering that involves 3 authors, or for the authors to find each other, cooperative members to find each other to collaborate and know there's a possible offering together, for people to sign up and say, I want to be informed about these. And so we've crafted a couple of approaches. We've tried on several, and we've now worked with David Marshall to come up with, we think, a very simple, minimal, low-maintenance way to do this, where we'll use the BK community site to foster collaboration among cooperative members, and then the publishing site, the connection site, and the change agent directory, which David will talk about, as a place to feature Leadership Alliance members and BK authors. So all of this is heading towards, in about 4 weeks, a launch, which will make this available to anyone who wants to instigate a project that's part of the cooperative. So we encourage you to get involved. Stuart's going to show you how.
Great.
You ready?
Yep. So the very simple thing, and here comes the pitch, folks. Barrett Kohler authors, we have reserved a URL, which is up on the slide, bkleadershipalliance.org, bkleadershipalliance.org. You can go to your little device right now, sign up, and we will send you information. Thanks very much.